Bonsoir, good evening, and welcome to our regular council meeting of November 27, 2025. Council members, Monsieur Tessier, chef de département, gens dans la salle, les gens qui nous écoutent via YouTube, bonsoir, good evening. On part avec l'agenda. Oh non, avant, on s'en va à l'item numéro 2 pour le Land Acknowledgement. Reconnaissance territoriale des Premières Nations. Alors que nous nous réunissons ici aujourd'hui, nous reconnaissons respectueusement que les terres sur lesquelles nous vivons et travaillons au canton de Champlain sont situées sur le territoire traditionnel et non cédé des peuples Anishinaabe, y compris la nation algonquine. Nous reconnaissons également que le territoire englobe les terres traditionnelles et visées par un traité des peuples Haudenosaunee, y compris la nation Mohawk. We gratefully acknowledge these First Nations for their guardianship of this land, and we honor them. We are grateful for the past, present, and future contributions made by our First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people in shaping and strengthening our communities. Item number 3, adoption of the agenda. I'll need a mover and a seconder. Be it resolved that Council approve the agenda of the regular meeting of November 27, 2025 as presented. Proposeur, Mme Clément, appuyé de, seconded by M. Lalonde. All those in favor? All those against? Carried. Item number 4, disclosure of pecuniary interest. Seeing none. Item number 5, presentation by council. Il n'y en a pas. On s'en va à item numéro 6, présentation committee or consultants. So at 6.1, we have Enbridge Gas and the Fire Marshal's Public Fire Safety Council, Safe Community Project Zero. And with us this evening, we have Annick Benoit from Enbridge. She is a Municipal Affairs Advisor. Madame Benoit, le podium est là et je vous invite à nous faire une belle petite présentation concernant le beau cadeau que vous allez faire à la municipalité de Champlain.
Merci. Je vous remercie de m'accueillir chez vous ce soir. Je reconnais plusieurs visages, donc ça me fait vraiment chaud au cœur d'être parmi vous. Puis, donc c'est ça, Enbridge is teaming up with your municipality. Safety is first and foremost one of the most important things with us at Gazifa, at Enbridge, I'm sorry. And we certainly value this partnership. And thank you very much, Monsieur Pigeon and Marie-Opel, for accepting these CO2 units. And I know that it will definitely help your community.
Thank you so much, Madame Benoit. Juste pour clarifier un peu, la municipalité va recevoir en total 144, ils appellent ça des Kitty Detect. Oui. Donc, c'est le CO2 et Smoke Alarm.
Oui, c'est un duo combiné.
Dont une valeur de 13 900 $. Donc, très beau cadeau. Merci beaucoup. Les gens de la municipalité vont être grandement appréciés du beau geste de Enbridge. Donc, merci d'avoir fait la présentation et merci du beau cadeau.
Merci.
Merci, bienvenue. Bonsoir, bonne soirée.
Une photo.
Ah oui, on prend une photo. On va prendre une photo, Madame Benoit. Monsieur Pichon, mot de sagesse, s'il vous plaît.
Monsieur le maire, Enbridge est un grand supporter du service d'incendie Juste cette année, ils remettent 450 000 dans la province d'Ontario aux différents services d'incendie. À la municipalité de Champlain, l'année passée, ils nous ont donné 5 000 pour des livres pour l'éducation de nos pompiers et quelques années avant, encore une fois, des avertisseurs de fumée. Donc, la loi change en Ontario en janvier qui s'en vient, où ce que des avertisseurs de CO, avant, ça en prenait un dans la maison. Maintenant, ça va en prendre un par plancher, puis un dans chaque secteur où il y a des chambres à coucher. Comme ça, la loi change, ça devient important. Les 144 avertisseurs qu'on a reçus ce soir, on va s'en servir avec la campagne des paniers de Noël, pour s'assurer que ces gens-là, lorsqu'on va aller chez eux, qui ont des avertisseurs de fumée, d'installer. S'ils n'en ont pas, on va leur demander s'ils veulent qu'on leur en installe un gratuitement, comme de raison, dans ces différentes maisons-là. C'est la responsabilité du propriétaire de la bâtisse. Comme ça, c'est bien sûr qu'on va passer un message au propriétaire que la municipalité n'est pas là, puis Enbridge n'est pas là pour faire le travail d'un propriétaire, mais on veut que les gens dans le besoin, dans la municipalité de Champlain, passe à Noël en sécurité, puis c'est la manière de le faire, comme ça. Dans nos deux villages, à travers de l'organisation des paniers de Noël, puis des différentes organisations qui travaillent avec les gens les plus dans le besoin dans nos municipalités, on va s'assurer de travailler avec eux pour distribuer ces avertisseurs-là aux endroits où qui en ont vraiment besoin. Donc, merci encore à Enbridge cette année.
Merci, M. Pigeon. Oui, puis le temps de Noël, c'est beau, on reçoit un beau cadeau, donc on va en profiter. Passons à l'item suivant. Item number 6.2, M&P LLP 2025 Audit Service Plan. Avec nous ce soir, Gérald Gauthier de la firme M&P. Donc, bonsoir, M. Gauthier. Le podium est à vous.
Okay. Merci beaucoup, M. le maire. Bonsoir à tous les membres du conseil puis tous les chefs de service. Donc, on fait notre exercice annuel de vous présenter notre plan d'audit. So, we'll go through the audit plan for 2025. So, for the key changes, there are not any material changes for this year, but we'll see later in Appendix B that there will be some major changes for 2027, which is in 2 years from now. Fait que, cette année, ça va être une année avec peu de changements. Si on va à la page suivante, on voit que c'est des petits changements au niveau de la présentation de certaines notes qui vont être affectées. Le deuxième, on parle au niveau des contrats de location, mais dans votre cas, en tout cas l'an dernier, il n'y en avait pas, fait que je ne crois pas qu'il va en avoir cette année non plus. Fait que ça ne vous touchera pas. If we go to the significant risk assessment, so it's the same as last year. So we identified the most significant risk, and that's where we will concentrate our audit work. So on all the other sections, we will do some audit work, but we'll do more on those significant risks. So the first one is management override of controls. So you could have the best control a municipality can have. If management decides to do a journal entry and change the results, there's no control that's going to detect that. So that's why we're doing some procedures, selecting a sample of a journal entry, and we have other procedures that we can do, but it's always done on a sample basis. So there could be some that won't be detected, but we're doing all we can to have a reasonable assurance that there are none in your financial statements. Le deuxième, on parle au niveau de la démarcation des revenus et des dépenses. On doit s'assurer que les revenus et dépenses sont enregistrés dans le bon exercice. Fait que si c'est quelque chose qui a rapport à 2025, il faut s'assurer qu'il soit inclus dans vos états financiers. Tandis que si c'est quelque chose en janvier, exemple, on doit s'assurer que c'est exclu de vos états financiers. Ensuite, au niveau des réserves et fonds réserves, souvent, c'est des montants significatifs. Fait qu'on s'assure que tous les transferts qui sont faits ils ont été approuvés soit par résolution ou dans votre budget. Puis, à l'inverse, on le vérifie des deux côtés. Fait que, on regarde ce qui est enregistré. Puis, l'autre façon, c'est qu'on va regarder ce qui a été inclus dans le budget et dans les résolutions, puis on s'assure qu'il soit inscrit dans vos livres également. The fourth one is the completeness of certain type of revenues. So we have to make sure that certain categories, we're doing tests to make sure that all revenue that should be recognized are recognized. When we're looking at the taxes, it's easy. We have an evaluation and a tax rate. So we just have to make sure one multiplied by the other, that's the revenue that's presented. But other services, there could be some that are not recorded, and we have to make some tests to make sure that everything that should be recorded is recorded, but on a sample basis once again. Le dernier, c'est les estimés de la direction. Chaque année, il y a toujours des choses qui sont pas, que vous n'avez pas les chiffres exacts ou l'information pour comptabiliser un chiffre que vous allez avoir. Fait que donc, à ce moment-là, la direction va faire des estimés pour ces transactions-là. Certaines années, c'est des montants minimes. D'autres années, c'est des montants plus importants. Fait que quand on va arriver à notre vérification finale, on va voir s'il y avait des montants significatifs, puis on va vous les rapporter dans notre rapport au mois d'avril prochain. Au niveau des dates, on a la présentation du plan ce soir. Les procédures intérimaires, ça va être dans la semaine du 8 décembre. The final audit will be in the week of March 23rd to April 3rd. And we should present to council on April 23rd next year. Au niveau de la matérialité, c'est le même principe que l'an passé. C'est basé sur 4 % des dépenses budgétées. Fait que le calcul donnait un montant de 800 000 cette année comparé à 775 000 l'an passé. Ça, c'est le total d'erreurs qu'on pourrait accepter et quand même signer notre rapport d'auditeur, mais ça inclut des erreurs réelles et les extrapolations. Comme ça fait quelques fois que je mentionne, on fait toujours notre audit sur une base d'échantillonnage, fait qu'on ne regarde pas 100 % des transactions. Fait que si on regarde 10 transactions et qu'on trouve des erreurs, mais là, il faut multiplier pour dire, OK, s'il y a le même pourcentage d'erreurs sur le reste de la population, à combien que ça peut arriver? Mais par expérience, on n'est jamais proche du montant de 800 000. Mais ça, on a l'obligation de le calculer, puis ça détermine le nombre de tests qu'on a à faire dans chacune des sections. Au niveau de l'équipe, for the audit team, it's the same partner, manager, and senior. So it's the assistant that will be new this year. So that's the only change to the audit team. For the fees, it's the amount that was included in the RFP. So no changes expected on that amount. À l'annexe A, on a une liste de communication. On a environ 25 items. Fait que ça, c'est toutes des choses que si on trouve au cours de notre audit, on a l'obligation de vous rapporter. Fait que dans le rapport de fin d'année qu'on va vous présenter, chacun de ces points-là vont être adressés. Puis, l'annexe B, j'ai mentionné un petit peu tantôt, ça, c'est les changements qui vont être applicables dans le futur. So those will be applicable. The first one is applicable for the year starting April 2026. So that will affect your 2027 fiscal year. Okay. If you go at the bottom of that page, you see a bunch of paragraphs or chapters of so many things will be affected during those changes. So next year, we'll probably have a better idea what are the impact on your financial statements and what will change. Then Appendix C, we're going more in detail in audit process, but it's very similar to last year, so I won't go in detail unless there are specific questions. And Appendix D, we're confirming our independence towards the management and the elected officials. So we're doing it verbally at this time or in our report, and at the end we'll have an official letter stating again or reconfirming that we're still independent. So we have to do this twice every year. Puis, on a la lettre d'engagement qui avait été jointe avec les documents. Ça, c'est la lettre qu'on doit signer à chaque année pour dire que vous nous embauchez pour faire l'audit. C'est ça qui est notre plan pour l'audit 2025. So this is our audit plan for 2025. I don't know if you have any questions or comments.
Merci, M. Gauthier. À ce moment-ci, je demanderai au conseil s'il y a des questions. Any questions? Seeing none. La présentation était claire. Merci. Puis on vous revoit au mois d'avril.
D'avril avec les résultats.
Excellent. Merci, bonne soirée.
Merci. Bonne soirée à tout le monde. Merci.
Bon, on va continuer sur l'item numéro 8, Staff Report, 8.1 Planning. Avant d'aller plus loin, parmi nous, on a un nouvel employé. Je vais laisser M. Tessier nous l'introduire. Donc, M. Tessier.
Merci, Monsieur le maire, de me donner l'opportunité de vous présenter, au conseil aux citoyens de Champlain, Eva Doane Lavoie, notre conseillère en aménagement. Eva a rejoint la municipalité le 29 septembre à titre de conseillère en aménagement. Elle possède un baccalauréat en urbanisme de l'Université de Montréal ainsi qu'une maîtrise en environnement et développement durable de la même université. Elle possède 5 ans en gestion de projet, 5 ans d'expérience en gestion de projet en aménagement, mobilisation citoyenne et verdissement pour 2 organismes sans but lucratif. Elle a aussi été auxiliaire de recherche ainsi qu'auxiliaire d'enseignement à l'Université de Montréal. Et Madame Doane Lavoie est aussi bilingue. Donc, pour terminer, je lui souhaite la bienvenue dans l'équipe, puis je lui laisse la parole. Merci.
Merci beaucoup pour cette introduction. Puis, bonsoir à tous. Ça me fait vraiment plaisir d'être ici avec vous ce soir. Puis, au plaisir de travailler ensemble sur les projets d'aménagement à Champlain. Merci.
Merci beaucoup et bienvenue. C'est pas l'ouvrage qui manque à Champlain, juste un petit hint. Planning 8.1, on s'en va à l'item numéro 8.1.1, Ongoing Planning Projects. Be it resolved that the ongoing planning project list as presented by the planner on November 27, 2025 be received and filed. On the mover and seconder, Mme Bigelow, seconded by, appuyé de M. Miner. Any questions on the ongoing project list? Seeing none, all those in favor? Those against? Carried. 8.1.2, zoning bylaw amendment application, preliminary report in regards to file-Z-05-2025, White. Madame Jariwala. You're welcome back to do our little presentation in regards to 8.1.2.
Thank you. At this time, I don't have anything additional to add to the presentation I did earlier. At this time, the application is just like the report is being presented for information. When this application comes before council again in January is when planning will give more of a recommendation to council on how to proceed.
Okay, thank you very much. Be it resolved that Planning Department Report File Number Z-05-2025 dated November 27, 2025 regarding zoning bylaw amendments for the property municipality known as 283 Happy Hollow Road, legally known as Concession 4 Park Lot 2, in the Township of West Osbury, in the geographic Township of West Osbury, now in the Township of Champlain with the tax roll number as presented, be received. And be it further resolved that a final report and bylaw be brought forward at the next regular council meeting. I'll need a mover and a seconder, Mr. Miner, seconded by Madame Bigelow. Any questions? All those in favor? Those against? Carried. 8.1.3, zoning bylaw amendment application, preliminary report file Z-06-2025 in regards to Litvin and Blumhober. I believe, Madame Jariwala, that is going to be the same explanation, so I'll save you the trouble in regards to what will be said. I'll just read the resolution. Be it resolved that the Planning Department report file number Z-06-2025, dated November 27, 2025, regarding the zoning bylaw amendment for the property municipal known as 1451 Pleasant Corner Road, legally known as Concession 3, Part Lot 14 in the geographic Township of West Osbury, now in the Township of Champlain, with the tax roll number as described be received, and be it further resolved that the final report and bylaw be brought forward at the next regular council meeting. I'll need a proposer, a mover and a seconder. Proposer Mr. Barton, seconded by Madame Bigelow. Any questions? All those in favor? Those against? Carried. 8.1.4, Land Severance Application B-078-2025, Unsworth. Madame Jariwala, your turn.
Thank you. I'll start by sharing my screen to provide some context. So this severance application is for what can be called a lot adjustment or a lot line adjustment, lot addition or lot line adjustment. So there's three pieces here that I'll be talking about. So the properties are known as 109 Front Road West and 119 Front Road West. Essentially, a small portion of the property at 109, and that is in the amount of 425 square meters, is being transferred to 119 Front Road to enlarge that lot. So for some geographic context, so here it is with the aerial view. So you can see that both properties have residential uses existing already. And the piece that you see here in pink is essentially the land that is being transferred between the two properties. So I'll leave that up for context while I provide a brief planning review. So starting, of course, with the provincial planning statement. So the PPS identifies settlement areas as the focus of growth and development. So this property is located within a settlement area, and this proposed lot adjustment does not create any new lot and does not extend the settlement area boundary. The PPS also states that land use patterns within settlement areas should efficiently use land and resources and optimize existing and planned infrastructure and services. So this proposal that we have in front of us does make efficient use of existing services, as both lots will remain on private services. There is no new infrastructure or extension of municipal services required for this application. Lastly, the PPS encourages general intensification and redevelopment within built-up areas to support complete communities. So this proposed severance represents a minor boundary adjustment that will ultimately improve the lot configuration without increasing the development density or changing the land use. Therefore, the application is consistent with the provincial planning statement. So next is the official plan for the United Counties of Prescott and Russell. The OP states that consents may be granted to permit a lot enlargement and minor boundary adjustments, provided that no new lot is created. This application, which is for a lot enlargement, is a type of consent that is permitted by the UCPR OP. And I will also note, as is apparent from the aerial, that the proposed retained lot and the lot to be enlarged have frontage on a year-round publicly maintained road, and they are compatible with the surrounding residential uses. Next is the official plan for the urban areas for the Township of Champlain. So in the local official plan, the proposed retained lot and the lot to be enlarged are designated low-density residential. So the single detached dwellings that are already existing are permitted. Additionally, I will note that even though these properties are in a urban settlement area, they have been designated on Schedule A2 of the official plan as being in an area without municipal services. So that's why they are on private services. Next, I will discuss the township zoning bylaw. So these properties are currently zoned residential estate. This zone permits the existing residential uses. The proposed frontage for both of these lots complies with the requirements of the bylaw. The existing dwellings on both lots also comply with all of the minimum required setbacks and the maximum permitted height and lot coverage. The one issue that was flagged was that the proposed lot area for the retained lot does not comply with the minimum lot area that is required. And as a result, a minor variance will be required to permit a reduced lot area, and such we will be requiring a condition for that. So for a little more detail, the required lot area for this zone is 800 square meters or 0.8 hectares, and that number also comes from the UCPR official plan. The lot area in question is for 109, which was previously already below the number, but essentially doing this worsens the condition for one lot and improves the condition for the other lot. So what that means, that this is a bit of a technical zoning thing. So what this means is, even though both lots were previously considered existing lots of record, they were both previously below that 800 that 0.8 hectare threshold. Because the lot at 109 is being reduced, that is considered to be worsening the existing non-compliance. That's why a minor variance will be needed for that lot. The other lot, while it was below the required threshold, is actually being improved. So it's an existing lot that has an improved condition, and so a minor variance is not required for the lot that's being enlarged. So to conclude, it is my professional opinion that the proposed consent is consistent with the PPS, conforms with both official plans, and it meets with the intent of the zoning bylaw. So we are recommending that the application be approved with the conditions as presented, where I will note that the conditions are for the minor variance, which I've discussed, as well as the standard condition we have for the payment for the balance of any outstanding taxes. When this report was originally written, it was also identified that there will be a condition for a road widening. However, we've confirmed that Front Road is a county road, and so the county will be imposing the condition for the road widening when they do their approval. So I understand that the resolution has already been revised to reflect just the two conditions and not the three.
Thank you, Mrs. Jariwala. We'll move to the resolution. Be it resolved that the consent application B-078-2025 be received. Be it further resolved that the application be granted with the following conditions. 1, a minor variance be applied for and approved for Lot B to recognize the proposed reduced lot area. And the next one would be for the payment of any balance or any outstanding taxes, including penalties and interest, shall be paid to the Township of Champlain. I need a mover and a seconder. Proposal de PR. Your minor, seconded by Michel Lalonde. Any questions? All those in favor? Those against? Carried. Going on to 8.1.5, application for removal of park lot control PLC -2025-02 in regards to 146 and 148 Higginson Street. Madame Jariwala.
Thank you. I will again start by sharing my screen to provide a bit of context. So this particular property has been before council a couple of times now. There is a bit of history. So okay, so what you're seeing here is the property at 148 Higginson. Essentially, this property was previously the subject of a consent in 2023, where they had proposed to create 2 lots. Essentially, the applicant then later decided that they actually needed a bigger lot. So then they got a cancellation a certificate of cancellation of consent, and then they applied for a new consent earlier this year, in which the lot was created. And at that time, when they did the application earlier this year, is when staff were notified that they wanted to do a semi-detached dwelling. So this was the sketch that was provided with the application. Essentially here, they are doing part lot control. This application is for part lot control to create the 2 individual lots that will be known as 146 and 148 Higginson. So the process of part lot control is enabled through Section 50, subsection 5 of the Planning Act. Essentially, that section says that if there is land that is within a plan of subdivision, then it can only be conveyed as those lots exist. Then there's subsection 7 that then goes on to say that the council of a local municipality can pass a bylaw such that that subsection does not apply, essentially enabling part lot control. Part lot control is used in the instances when there's further division taking place for a lot that's already within a plan of subdivision. That's what makes part lot control a possibility for this particular lot, as opposed to needing to do another consent application. It is also typically used in the case of semi-detached dwellings, where the foundation is poured and the land is surveyed to ensure that the party wall is captured accurately for the property line. As per the UCPR official plan, the United Counties of Prescott and Russell are the final approval authority for the lifting of part lot control. And should this application be supported by council today, staff will be forwarding UCPR a certified copy of the corresponding bylaw. The lifting of part lot control is therefore consistent with the requirements of the Planning Act, the PPS, and the UCPR official plan, local official plan. Part lot control is an appropriate tool to convey the lands for the semi-detached dwellings at the proposed 146 and 148 Higginson Street.
Thank you, Mrs. Jariwala. I'll read the resolution in regards to the presentation. Be it resolved that Planning Department report PLC -2025-02 regarding the application for lifting of part lot control for parts 43 and 44 Block B of registered plan number 35 requested by 149-33176 Canada Inc. and Schultz Baudet Surveying be received, and that bylaw number 2025-72 be brought forward for adoption. Proposeur appuyeur. Mover, Mr. Barton, seconded by Mr. Duval. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Those against? Carried. I do believe your evening is done, Mrs. Jariwala. Thank you so much for the presentations, and I wish you a good evening, and we'll see you in January. Merry Christmas.
Yes, thank you. Thank you and good evening.
Bye.
Bye.
8.2, adoption of planning bylaws. 8.2.1, the bylaw number 2025-72, the removal of part lot control 146-148 Ingetson Street. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2025-72 being a bylaw to provide that subsection 5 of section 50 of the Planning Act, RSO 1990, Chapter P13 as amended, does not apply to part of lots 43 and 44, Block B registered the plan number 35, formerly in the town of Vankleekil, now in the Township of Champlain, in the County of Prescott, designated as Parts 1, 2, and 3 on the reference plan 46R-8340 and municipally owned, known as 146 and 148 Higginson Street, and that the clerk be assigned to submit the bylaw to the United Counties of Prescott and Russell be passed. This will be a bylaw, so I'll need a mover and a seconder to bring forward the bylaw. Mr. Duval, seconded by Mr. Barton. Read the first time. All those in favor? Read the second time, all those in favor. Read the third time, all those in favor. Carried. 8.3, recommendation reports. 8.3.1, report FIN-2025-13. This is in regards to WSIB surplus distributions. I'll read the resolution and then we can discuss it after. Be it resolved that Finance Report FIN-2025-13 dated November 27, 2025, regarding the Workplace Safety Insurance Board, also known as WSIB surplus distribution, be received, and be it further resolved that Council authorize the transfer of the total WSIB surplus rebate of $154,179 to the Working Fund Reserve. Proposeur appuyeur, Madame Bigelow, second by Mr. Duval. Any questions? All those in favor? Those against? Carried. Report number 8.3.2, report CLK-2025-08, 2026 Council meeting schedule. I will read the resolution. Be it resolved that report CLK-2025-08 dated November 27, 2025, regarding the proposed 2026 Council meeting schedule be received and approved as presented. Mover and seconder, proposeur appuyeur, Madame Clément, appuyé de Monsieur Miner. Juste un petit point que j'aimerais apporter avant même de passer au conseil. Sur l'agenda, vous allez remarquer que le 5 février, on a une réunion spéciale concernant le budget. La raison du pourquoi, c'est que je suis mandaté par la province pour le Strong Mayor Power, and budget needs to be done before February 1st if it is a mayor's budget. I will sign off on it because I want it to be known as a council budget, so I will ask staff to come back with a report in regards to the budget so that council can all discuss it so it does not become a mayor's budget. So that's why we have February 1st, because anything before February 1st would be a strong mayor power budget. So it would be a mayor budget. Anything that I missed, Madame Collard?
Monsieur le Maire, just maybe you would like to inform Council that you gave direction to staff to prepare a draft budget on the normal basis and to present it in February.
In other words, there's a document that I will sign. So this will be recorded as such so that it will be a council decision in regards to the budget. Also, if we go down the line of Committee of the Whole, I would recommend a date for August because there's none scheduled. We have no meeting in July. Just in case we do have a meeting that we don't need to call a special meeting that we have to pay everybody. So if we do have a date, then it's part of the Committee of the Whole. So this way, we don't have to pay $1,500 or $1,200 in regards to a claim. So I would recommend that we I recommend Madame Collard to give me a date in regards to August so we can add it.
Monsieur le Maire, so if we go with our normal scheduling, the second Thursday of the month would be the 13th. So we would have a committee on the whole on the 13th only if we needed it.
Yeah.
And the proposal is that the regular meeting be brought forward to the third Thursday, which would be the 20th.
Correct. And the reason for the 20th, it's in
So
our notes in regards to the election.
So the reason to bring it forward from the 27th to the 20th is that nomination day is on the 21st, and we could be in lame duck from 2 o'clock onwards on the 21st, depending, of course.
C'est clair? Your minor? All good? Okay. We're good with the dates? Also, if we go down the Committee of the Whole for October, November, December, then again, that October is election, and November and December will be new council at that time. So those dates will come forward later, should there be some. Correct, Madam Collard? For the Committee of the Whole? I want to make sure.
If you wanted, we could put in October 8th on the same basis. We could just add it to the calendar. It would be the normal Committee of the Whole date, and if we don't need it, we don't use it.
I would also support that we include October 8th as a tentative date. So,
Not very
like
likely.
the Ten Commandments said, shall it be written, shall it be law? But at least we have it written. Okay. Est-ce qu'on est d'accord? Are we all good with those dates that were added? Oui? We're good? Okay. That's what I have. Ouvert for discussion. Any questions? All in favor? Those against? Carried. 8.3.3, report PWD-2025-07, reconstruction of Main Street, Ventléquille. I will read it up, and this is another reason why budget is council decision. Be it resolved that a Public Works report number PWD-2025-07 dated November 27, 2025 regarding the design assignment for the Ventléquille Main Street be received and filed, and be it further resolved that council recommends that the Director of Public Works includes $257,125 in the proposed 2026 draft budget for the design assignment. Dans votre rapport, proposeur appuyeur. Mover and seconder, Mr. Duval, seconded by Mr. Barton. In your report, you will see that the design draft assignment is also not the correct amount. It's $459,000, but there's $202,000 that comes from the counties. So there's a big cost related to the 1.8. But if we need to develop or grow, it needs to be realigned properly. So that includes sewage, drainage, stormwaters, sidewalks, type of soil, topography. Well, you've seen the list. There's $459,000 worth of designs and studies that needs to be done. Just want to make it clear so that everybody's on the same page, so that members that are watching on YouTube, that they do understand where the money goes. Ventléquille is on the list, so Main Street will eventually, United Counties has the budget to do it in 2026 to pay their share. So that's why it will be proposed for the 2026 budget. Question on the report. Seeing none, c'est quoi, M. Tessier?
Petit point simplement à rajouter, M. le maire, c'est que ceci va nous permettre aussi de faire des délégations. Une fois qu'on va avoir l'information, c'est là qu'on va pouvoir appliquer pour des subventions puis aller à la province, puis on va avoir du poids à ce moment-là. Donc, c'est la première étape. Si on ne fait pas la première étape, on n'aura pas l'argent. Donc, il faut aller de l'avant avec ce projet-là. Merci.
Bon point, je l'avais oublié, absolument. Très important d'être shovel-ready. Ils ont de l'argent. Ils veulent bâtir des maisons. Ils sont dedans. Il y a d'autres nouvelles qui vont venir. On espère qu'elles vont être bonnes. Il faut être shovel-ready. So, les rapports sont extrêmement importants. All those in favor? Those against? Carried. Item numéro 8.3.4, le rapport PWD-2025-08, appointment of the engineer for the Hawkesbury Creek Municipal Drain. Again, there's a report attached. Be it resolved that Public Works, number PWD-2025-08, dated November 27, 2025, concerning the Hawkesbury Creek Drain Engineer appointment be received and filed, And be it further resolved, that council approves the award of contract number PWQ 2025-05 to Shade Group, Inc., in accordance with the terms and conditions outlined in the contract. Be it further resolved that bylaw number 2025-74 be brought forward for adoption. Proposal APR, Madame Bigelow, seconded by Monsieur Minor. Any questions? All those in favor? Those against? Carried. 8.3.5, report CCD-2025-07, road closure Christmas events. Be it resolved that Communications and Community Development Report number CCD-2025-07, dated November 27, 2025, regarding the road closures or requests for Christmas events be received. There are two. There's the parade on Friday in Ventlehill, and there's the illumination of the Christmas tree in L'Orignal at the corner of King and John. Proposeur appuyeur, Mr. Burrows, appuyé de Monsieur Lalonde. Question. Questions? All those in favor? Those against? Carried. Monthly reports, 8.4. These items will be consented. In regards to 8.4.1, accounts, 8.4.2, higher services monthly report, 8.4.3, rec monthly report, 8.4.4, public works, 8.4.5, CBO monthly report, 8.4.6, building department monthly report, 8.4.7, CCD, which is the communication community development monthly report, Aqua at 8.4.8, and the library monthly reports at 8.4.9. Resolution as follows. Be it resolved that the following staff reports be received and filed under the consent resolution for the agenda from item 8.4.1 through 8.4.9. Accounts for October 2025, the monthly reports for October 2025 for the fire, parks and recreation, public works, building, bylaw, communications, and community development, and the library, and also the Aqua quarterly report card for the third quarter of 2025. Proposeur appuyeur, mover and seconder, Madame Bigelow, seconded by Monsieur Duval. Question, comments? I do have one. Communication and community development. In the report, please notice that there is a video of each department that has captured the eyes of a lot of the public and residents. It is amazing, very well done. I want to thank Shauna and her team and staff for taking the time to do it. It was amazing. I watched them and I watched them again and I watched them a third time. Love it. All those in favor? Those against? Carried. Il y avait quelque chose pour public? Non. 10. Item number 10, liaison committee minutes, members report 10.1, library board, the minutes of October 15, 2025. Be it resolved that the minutes of the October 15, 2025 meeting of the library board will be received and filed. Proposeur appuyeur, mover and seconder. Mr. Duval, seconded by Mr. Minor. Any questions on the library board report of the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor? Those against? Carried. So item 12, 12.1, minutes of the regular meeting of October 22nd, 2025. Be it resolved that council approves the minutes of the October 22nd, 2025 regular meeting as presented. Mover and seconder, proposeur appuyeur. Madame Clément, appuyé de Monsieur Barton. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Those against? Carried. Adoption of bylaws, 13.1, bylaw number 2025-71, deletion of an encroachment agreement from the title of 961 King Street. The house burned down, so no more requirements in regards to the encroachment. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2025-71, being a bylaw to authorize the deletion of the encroachment agreement from the title of 961 King Street be passed. Proposal à PR to bring the bylaw forward. Mr. Duval, seconded by Mr. Lalonde. Read the first time. All those in favor? Read the second time. All those in favor? Read the third time. All those in favor? Carried. 13.2 bylaw 2025-73 in regards to salaries and remuneration of the township's employees. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2025-73 being a bylaw to establish the salaries and remuneration of the employees of the corporation of the township of Champlain be passed. Proposal à PR, mover and seconder, Mr. Minor, seconded by Mme Bigelow. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Those against? Carried. 13.3, bylaw number 2025-74, appointment of an engineer for the Hawkesbury Creek Municipal Drain. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2025-74 being a bylaw to appoint Shade Group, Inc. to review the Hawkesbury Creek Municipal Drain under Section 76 of the Drainage Act, variation of assessments for maintenance and repairs to the drainage work be passed. Proposal à PR. Mr. Minor, seconded by, appuyé de Mme Clément. Read the first time. All those in favor? Read the second time. All those in favor? Read the third time. All those in favor? Carried. Correspondence, item number 15. This will be for support resolutions, if any. 15.1, Municipality of Blue Water, keeping climate change as a foremost national priority. Support, Mr. Duval. Is there an APR, Mr. Lalonde? All those in favor? Those against? Carried. 15.2, the town of Bradford West Gillingbury, removing of HST GST from the new homes to support housing affordability. Proposé par M. Duval, appuyé de Mme Clément. All in favor to support? Against? Carried. 15.3, Township of Edwardsburg. Cardinal, Ontario Community Infrastructure Funds in regards to OCIF. Je pense que ça serait une bonne à supporter. Duval, seconded by, appuyé de Mr. Barton. All in favor? Against? Carried. 16, for information, 16.1, OPP Detachment Board, the Hawkesbury OPP Detachment Board Annual Report 2024. If you want to read it all, it's quite a report. Gives you an insight of what's going on in our community and surroundings, 23 pages. Information seulement. So we are at item number 17, question period. Anybody from the public? Oh, sorry, Monsieur Burrows.
Can I address the Hawkesbury OPP board report, please?
Sure can.
If you want to open up the annual report, I know, and I had made this a point from, and when we came into council, I did speak to Inspector Lalonde in regards to the failing to attend a court and us being billed in Champlain Township. And I know that in his report, there is nothing that indicates, if you look through it, there's no fail to appear court, there's no breach of probation, there's no fail to comply with conditions of release. And I have a very hard time that there had not been one of those offenses committed. I would ask you, Mr. Mayor, at maybe your next meeting on the police board, if you can look into where it says other criminal code. If you look at the third item, other criminal code offenses, there's 206 offenses reported for 2024. And it shows a clearance rate of 60.68.
T'es à quelle page, là?
I'm sorry?
Give me the page, please.
Page 13. You go down to other CC. My point being is that I would like to know what 206 of those offenses consist of. So I don't know if you could make it a point of inquiring and that we be provided here at council as to what those offenses were for the year of 2024.
Will do, Mr. Burrows.
Thank you.
Sorry. Item numéro 17, question period. Anybody from the public is allowed to ask questions in regards to tonight's agenda? C'est dénommé? Pas de questions? Ah, merci d'être présent. Donc, on s'en va à l'item numéro 18, announcements, les annonces. Est-ce qu'il y a des gens qui sont prêts à faire des annonces? On sait qu'on a la parade de demain. On a aussi l'illumination de l'arbre de Noël à l'Orignal, samedi. On a aussi la fête à ma mère aujourd'hui, il y a 84 ans. Bonne fête, maman. Elle va être contente. That's it for me. Personne d'autre? Seeing none, on s'en va à l'item numéro 19. I do believe I have a resolution in regards to item number 19.1. Okay. So in regards to in-camera meeting that we had earlier, 19.1, in regards to the contract negotiation, in regards to the drainage superintendent and the tile drain inspector, be it resolved that council approves the new rates proposed by Leroux Consultant of $75 per hour and 65 cents per kilometer, and be it further resolved that council instruct Public Works to enter into a formal agreement with Leroux Consultant. Proposeur appuyeur, Madame Bigelow, appuyé de Monsieur Burrows. Any questions? On ne peut pas parler parce qu'on a parlé à huis clos. All in favor? Against? Carried. On s'en va à item 19.3, negotiations with the town of Hawkesbury. Be it resolved that the mayor and the clerk sign the memorandum of understanding with the town of Hawkesbury as presented in the in-camera meeting. Proposeur appuyeur, Mr. Zval, seconded by Madame Clement. All those in favor? Those against? Carried. Item numéro 20, next meetings. January 15th, Committee of the Whole, 2026, if required. And we also have the regular council meeting on January 29, 2026. Confirming bylaw, item number 21.1. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2025-75, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the council at its meeting of November 27, 2025, be passed. Proposeur appuyeur, Madame Bigelow, seconded by Monsieur Minor. Read the first time, all those in favor. Read the second time, all those in favor. Read the third time, all those in favor. Carried. Ajournement. This will end our session at 7:23. Be it resolved that this regular council meeting be adjourned at 7:23 p.m. Proposeur appuyeur. Mr. Barton, Madame Clement, all in favor? Against? You have a question? You sure? You don't want to go home? Adopté. Merci beaucoup. Bonne soirée. Avant de quitter, on n'a pas de meeting au mois de décembre, so we have no council meeting in December. Merry Christmas. Enjoy your holidays. Be careful. We love you all. We'll see you in January.